Welcome to week 4 of Move and Restore. So this week, what we're going to do is, last week we looked at the 6 rotations of the shoulder. So this week we are going to kind of put that into action a little bit. So we're going to see how through working through the shoulder joint, we affect or cause lovely stretching and opening through the chest here. Now, as always, the way I find the benefits of yoga is through investigating anatomy. But you have to remember, this is not an anatomy class. It's my method to bring you into your practice and just kind of quieten those little chatty minds. Is like meditation. It's to give you a focal point and bring your attention inwards so that it becomes an introspective practice, and we start to kind of assimilate all the benefits of the movement. Of course, there's also very real scientific benefits to moving, but with yoga, why yoga is special over just any other movement practice is the other benefits that we really get to the whole body and the mind as a unit. So we are going to start on all fours. I'm just going to make sure that my AirPods are properly linked in there. Or yes, great. Okay, so let's just go through a few rounds of cat-cow, regular cat-cow, and then I'm going to bring you into a different version that we've done before, but possibly not in this section of classes. So just do a few rounds of cat-cow to start to warm up the spine. So you move with your breath and through the two movements that you're very aware of now, I'm sure. And I'm going to just chat you through a few little alignment cues for each of them. And you are going to just bear them in mind as you move through your 2 movements with your breath. I just want you to start to link your breath with your movement, which is unique to you. So just on your inhale, when you come into that, so don't follow my guide if you don't want to, you are going to broaden through the collarbone. So there we actually, let's all come into, I'm probably overcomplicating having you moving. Let's all come into cow pose so that we can kind of notice this opening through the chest here and the position of the shoulders, and how reaching the shoulders back towards the hips there helps to open the chest. So here we are at the very start of our practice, and we're already seeing how the shoulders have an impact on chest opening. And then exhaling the spine up towards the ceiling. Notice the shoulder position now. We're broadening through the collarbones, or we're not broadening, we're broadening through the shoulder blades at the back, and the collarbones are kind of drawing together. The shoulders are drawing together at the front of your body. And this is kind of the position that we would take on a cold day, or kind of when we're feeling a little bit conscious. And that's the kind of habitual pattern that we are trying to almost take out of our day-to-day movement, but it's great to move in and out of it so that we are moving all the muscles of the shoulder in our practice. Okay, so let's take it into a few movements with the breath now. I will guide you, but again, take it in your own time with your breath if your breath is different than my count. Inhale, the belly softens down towards the ground. The gaze comes slightly forward, the extension of the back of the neck. Exhale brings the spine up towards the ceiling. Really reaching the spine up towards the ceiling, cinching the whole waist in there now. One more round. Inhale, belly softens down towards the ground. And then exhale, lifting the spine up towards the ceiling. Moving nice and gently now in the first few minutes of our practice. So the next few rounds of cat-cow, we're going to take it into a version that, I'm pretty sure I've done before, but I'll explain it through to you again. We're not necessarily working with the spine for this one. We are really working through the broadening of the collarbones and opening the chest forward towards the front of your mat. So going to tuck the toes under, inhale here in your regular cow pose, and then exhale. We're not really tilting the pelvis at all. We're leaving it in that forward tilt, but we're going to press the pelvis back towards the back of our heels, press into our hands there, and shine the chest forward. So we're keeping that chest nice and open. Okay, so like it's an open-hearted cat-cow. Inhale, up to cow, and then exhale, press the hips back towards the heels. Keep the chest open and wide there. Inhale, one more time, back to all fours, and then exhale, press the hips back towards the the back of the heels there. Press into the fingertips. Spread those fingers nice and wide on your mat. Keep the chest lovely broad and open. Inhale up to all fours again. And then exhale, just untuck the toes untuck the toes there. Okay, we're going to come into the next section. What we're going to do is we're going to lengthen out. I'm just going to show you first. So on an inhale, we're going to reach the arms out. So make sure that you're nice and wide on your mat here, right hand to the right side, and well, kind of, you know, stacked underneath your shoulders and your hips, definitely, and maybe even a little bit wider if that helps you with your balance. Press into the right hand and the left knee. We're going to reach the left arm forward. So come along with me now for this one. And then the right leg back. Flex through the right heel, press through the right heel and reach through the left fingertips. See, can you have a sense, and it might even help you to bring your fingertips to those hip bones there to make sure that the pelvis is level there. We're going to inhale here and then exhale, coming into that cactus position with the arm out to the side, and then cactus leg, if that's the thing, out to the side as well. So I'm just going to show you from this position so you can see me a little bit easier. You can move with me. So inhale, reaching away, flexing that right foot away from you with fingertips reaching forward. And then exhale, I've brought my left arm into cactus position here and my right leg is out to the side as well. One more time with that. Inhale, reach away. And then exhale, cactus arms and legs out to the side, lifting any amount. Again, trying to keep that pelvis. It might open a little bit out to the side, but trying to have, okay, bring the hand and the leg down. Trying to have an awareness of those hips, not swinging out to the side there, because we want those muscles at the back. I'll show you from this way. We want those muscles at the back of the hips there working, rather than just the whole hip unit opening up, because that's not really working those hip muscles there. It's really just, it's almost working the opposite hip actually. So I'll take my t-shirt off so you can see what's happening in my hips properly. Okay, and then we're going to take an inhale here at all fours. Then going to swing that right leg out to the side, pivot it off the mat, reach the left leg away. And then bring the right arm or the left hand to the back of your neck there, but just gently holding on to it. We're not pulling at the neck in any way. Exhale, reaches the elbow down towards the ground. So we're kind of twisting through the body as well, closing over. And then inhale, opening the chest. So the arm is just gently holding onto the back of that neck. It's almost like it's supporting the weight of the head a little bit, but it's not dictating where the head is going at all. And then exhale, back down the elbow towards the ground. Inhale, opens the elbow up towards the ceiling, maybe even a little bit back. So really feeling that lovely stretch in the front of the shoulder and the armpit there. And then exhale, reaching the elbow down towards the ground, a little bit of a bend or a twist through the waist. One more time. Inhale, opening out, and then exhale all the way back to all fours again. Okay, we're going to do that sequence on the left side now. We're going to do our regular cat-cows and then our chest opening cat-cows. So inhale, belly softens down towards the ground, and exhale, lifting the spine up towards the ceiling. Inhale, belly softens, gaze comes forward, and then exhale, lifting the spine up towards the ceiling. One more time. Inhale, belly softens. So it's almost like you're dragging your hands towards your knees for this one. And then exhale, you're dragging your hands away from your knees. So just adding extra little bits of energetic movements into your cat-cow as you become a little bit too used to them. Okay, inhale, we're coming into our cow now. And then exhale, tuck the toes under, press those hips back towards your heels here. Inhale, back up to all fours. And then exhale, press the hips towards the heels, press into the hands there. So press your whole body away using the strength of your arms there. Inhale, last time up to all fours. And then exhale, press the hips back towards the heels, press your hands in to help reach those hips back towards the heels. Inhale, back up to all fours again, and then exhale here, untuck the toes. Reach that left arm away and reach that right arm away this time. Hold on, is that we did the last time? Reach the right arm away and left arm and left leg away this time. So coming over to the other side on an inhale here, and then exhale, cactus arm right, cactus leg left. Inhale, reaching, remembering to be aware of those both hip bones there, keeping them nice and level. And then exhale into cactus. Last time, inhale, reaching, exhale, cactusing them out to the side, using the upper shoulder, the back of that hip to lift those limbs out to the side. And then back to all fours again. Okay. Oh, hold on. We need to do our opening through the chest that side again. So you're going to pivot the left leg off your mat this time and reach the right leg away from you here. Bring the right arm now just to the back of the head there, just to gently cup the back of the head. Again, just supporting it, not pulling at the neck at all. Exhale to curl through the upper arm there to reach the elbow down towards the ground. So feeling a nice twist through the waist and a stretch, a lovely stretch through that upper left waist there, or right waist there. Inhale to open. So reach the elbow up towards the ceiling, even a little sense of it going back behind you. It might not go back that far. And then exhale back to bring the elbow down towards the ground, feeling the twist and the stretch in the upper waist there. Inhale opens you again. Reach that elbow up and back. Exhale brings the elbow down towards the ground again. And one more round. Inhale, opening up. Really feeling that chest opening here. And then exhaling down towards the ground, bringing that right hand down now and coming back into tabletop position. Okay, we're going to take our first standing flow now, and we are going to flow through our all four positions, our all fours warm up, and then we're going to start into our standing flow. So we're going to do that flow that we did there with the breath, and then add on our first standing flow. And then we'll have a second standing flow, and we'll start with that all fours warm up as well. So don't worry about it. I will be talking you through everything. So we're going to leave out our cat cow. We're going to come into our chest opening cat cow to start off this round. So tuck the toes under. Inhale here into cow position. Exhale, press the hips back towards the heels. And it's just one round when we're including the standing flow. Inhale back up to all fours, and exhale, untuck the toes. Inhale, reach right or left arm away, right leg away, press the heel away. And then exhale, coming into that cactus position. Left elbow bent, right knee bent. And then inhale back to all fours again. Exhale, tuck that right toes off the mat to the right side of your mat and reach that left leg away from you. Hold on to the back of your head there with your left arm. Exhale, elbow down towards the ground. Inhale, open it up. And then exhale back to all fours again. Now we're coming into the standing flow. So on your inhale, you're going to step that right leg just to the inside of your right hand there. Lift the left knee up. And exhale, step that left foot forward and fold down, bending in the knees if you need to, which I certainly do. So inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position. Inhale, reach the arms up high. And then exhale, we're going to step the left leg back into arrow pose. So left leg comes back and then the arms swing back into arrow pose just for our exhale. Inhale, reach the arms up high. So let's take a moment here, seeing it's our first time in our standing, to make sure that we're happy with the position of our legs here. So make sure that your legs are nice and wide on your mat here, because we're going to come through two little mini flows here whilst standing. So make sure that you have your balance. That left knee can be a little bit bent here just before our, just giving that left hip flexor a bit of time to warm up. And as you find a little bit more comfort, if comfort's a thing that's going to happen in this pose, or a little bit more of an opening, let's say, to the front of that hip flexor, you can start to press that heel away, but not to the expense of the pelvis tipping forward. And you'll kind of notice that if this isn't ready to open, the upper body will tip forward because there isn't enough of a stretch through the front of your hip flexor there. So to start my practice with, I always find a little bend in that left knee very helpful for my high lunge. Inhale, reach the arms up high here. And then exhale, we're going to bring the arms down by our sides. So What I want you to have a look at here, and I'll show you from this position. So we're keeping our legs nice and grounded and they're working hard. And we're just going to let them get on with their thing there while we work with our shoulders and our arms. So what I want you to have a look at is the way that when we reach the arms up high, my arms are being cropped off a little bit there, but they're just, yeah, that's better. When we come down, we kind of swing the palms down to the sides, and you'll see it better illustrated when we bring them up. So have a look at bring the arms up, to have a look at where my palms are, they're facing down. Continue very slowly to bring your arms up facing down and notice how you hit discomfort in the shoulders there. So what the body naturally does is as it's coming up, it swings the palms open and reaches up towards the ceiling with much more comfort, because there's the anatomy of the shoulder there, the bone hits bone if you try to reach the arm up with the palm facing down. So we swing the arms up and overhead. So let's take that with our lunge there. So inhale, let's just come to the arms reaching down beside our sides. So it's always going to be an inhale to reach up and exhale to bring the arms back down again. So just see, can you smoothly bring that arm into the rotation of the palm facing up, with kind of consciously doing it and feeling the muscles rotating the arm as you bring the arm up towards the ceiling there. Okay, so inhale, sweeps the arms up nice and slowly, palms circling up towards the ceiling, reaching the fingers up towards the ceiling. Just keep the arms shoulder width rather than bringing the palms together. And then exhale, they circle back again. So they're internally rotating the palms down towards the floor as we bring them down by our sides again. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, bringing the arms up, circling the arms, reach them up towards the ceiling. Exhale, sweeping the arms back down, the palms towards the ground as they come down either side of the body. Okay, so one more little standing flow. I know the legs are probably beginning to get a little bit tired now, but just see, can we try this one? Actually, I'll probably be better off facing you this way again for this one. So inhale, reach the arms up high again. And on an exhale, we're going to just bend that right elbow and tap the back of our left shoulder there, or the back of your left head, whichever you can reach. And then we're going to inhale, reach the arms back up again, and exhale, tap the back of the right shoulder with the left hand. Inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, tap left. Inhale, reach. Exhale, tap right. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands either side of the front foot, and then just coming back to all fours again. Okay, so just what we're doing there is we're doing all these different rotations through the shoulders like we did last week, but we're kind of bringing it into more of a fluid movement, and we're noticing how we get this lovely chest opening there. So I hope that's working for you there, the observation of the shoulders. Okay, we'll move over to the left-hand side now for that mini flow. So we're going to start with our chest opening cat-cows. So tuck the toes under, inhale here, and then exhale, press your hips back towards your heels there. Inhale, back up to all fours, and exhale, untuck the toes. Inhale, we're going to reach the right arm away and the left leg away. This time, flex out through that left heel, reach the right fingertips forward. Exhale, cactusing the arm and the leg, really using that full 360 core to help balance you here. Squeeze the back of the hip, squeeze the back of that right shoulder there. And inhale, back to all fours again. Exhale, you're going to pivot that left leg off your mat there, reach your right leg away from you. And we're going to place the right fingertips at the back of the head there. Exhale brings the elbow down towards the ground, and inhale opens your chest up towards the side of your mat there. Reach that elbow back and away from you. And inhale back to all fours again. Take an exhale here, and on your next inhale, step that left leg forward just to the inside of your left hand. So the reason why I emphasize that is because that's going to give you the wide position on your mat there so that you can balance in your high lunge. On your next exhale, you're going to tuck the right toes under, lift the right knee, and step the right leg forward just beside your left foot there. Bend the knees and fold down. Let's just take 1 or 2 breaths here before we continue our flow. Just let everything drape over your legs there. We'll take a half forward fold here, press into your knees, reach the chest forward. So let's find our chest opening again. Reach those shoulders back towards your hips like we do in our cat-cow. And exhale, folding down again. Inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position. Inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, step the right leg back now into arrowhead. So swing those arms back, reach them back towards your heel there. Inhale, reach the arms up high. Now we're going to do our arms coming down to the sides again. So just see, can we get a little bit of fluid movement and noticing the direction of our palms for this one. So inhale, reach them up. Exhale, palms start to rotate down towards the ground as you bring the arms either side of the body. Inhale, halfway up, the palms rotate to open and reaching up towards the ceiling. Exhale, palms slowly rotate down towards the ground and internally towards the side of the body. One more time. Inhale, reach the arms up, palms open and face each other. Okay, and then for the next one, we're going to inhale to reach. Exhale, we're going to bend the left elbow, tap the back of the right shoulder there. Inhale to reach, bend right elbow, tap back of the left shoulder. Inhale, reach. Exhale, tap right. Inhale, reach. Exhale, tap left. One more time. Inhale, reach. Exhale, hands either side of the front foot and step it back to downward dog. Let's take a little child's pose here for a few breaths. So you can take it into an open chested child's pose, seeing as we're working on chest opening today, or if you need to take a little breather, come down into your preferred version of child's pose, either using the palms to support your head or just noticing what version will suit your level of energy today. I'm just taking 2 breaths here before we start into our second flow. Settling down into your mat and getting your energy levels ready again to flow. We'll start again now. Inhale up to all fours. Tuck the toes under. We're going to do our open chest cat-cow. Exhale, press the hips back towards your heels there. Press through the hands. Inhale back to all fours again. Exhale, untuck the toes. Inhale, reach the right leg away and the left fingertips forward. Exhale, cactus arm, cactus leg, awareness of the core, awareness of those hip bones. Inhale, back to all fours again. Exhale, pivot that right foot off the mat, tuck the right toes under, reach the left leg away from you here. Bring the right hand just to cup the back of your neck there, or the back of your skull there. Exhale to bring that elbow down towards the ground. So keeping the hips nice and open here, which we're bringing it into a twist. Inhale to open through the chest, reach that elbow up and back, and exhale, come back to all fours again. Inhale, steps the right foot just inside the right hand there. Make sure you're nice and wide in your stance. And exhale, step the left leg forward, folding down. Inhale, press into your feet, reach the arms up high. Exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position. Inhale, reach, press into your feet. Exhale, swing the arms forward, step the left leg back. So the right leg is forward. We're coming into our second standing flow on the right side. Now on your inhale, listen carefully here. We're going to ground that left foot at our 45-degree angle, sweep the right arm up and over to take us into our reverse warrior. And then we're going to, on our exhale, we're just going to place our right hand on our right knee to reach the left arm up and over into just a kind of softer version of Parsvakonasana. So you're kind of keeping either a gentle bend in that right arm or have that right arm straight. So we're really working on the top body here. We're not coming into our biggest reverse and our biggest Parsvakonasana. We're just doing this kind of a movement because we're working on the upper chest here. So what we can add to it, if you want to give it a go, I'm going to bring you to those 2 poses there. So you can either do this version where you have the arm nice and open and you're stretching. And I suggest, you know, I'm just going to keep that arm gently bent. Or you can try this version, which we've been kind of doing through some of our practice, bringing the hand to the back of the head there. So we can bring the arm to the back of the head and opening through those two poses. Okay, so pick your version and see which one feels good for your shoulder. I'm just going to keep the arm reaching. So inhale, let's do 3 rounds of this. Inhale, left hand to left thigh, right arm reaches over. Exhale, right hand to right knee, little bend in the elbow if you need it, reaching left arm up and over. So observing the shoulders here and the opening through the chest. Inhale to reverse and exhale to Parsvakonasana. Inhale to reverse and exhale, hinging forward over that front leg. Last time, inhale to reverse and then exhale to reach over that front leg. Okay, so now for those of you who liked the elbow behind the knee, we're going to do one more version here. So bring the right elbow onto the right knee there. If that, for people who find it quite hard to get the left elbow right elbow comfortably onto the right knee, you can pad it. You can bring like a blanket or just anything that will incrementally bring you up a little bit further if bringing the knee down is just a little bit too much for you to reach. Okay, so what we're going to do for this one is like we did from our half all fours position, is we're going to take it into an opening where we reach the elbow back. So have a little bit of kind of consciousness of where your weight is going. Of course, a lot of it is going to be on that front foot. Can you press some of it into that back foot? And certainly, can you make sure that the whole 360 core is working here? So it's taking a little bit of the weight out of that right elbow. What we don't want is the whole body to be collapsed into that right elbow there. So while we're working on this shoulder, we want the rest of the body really active. Okay, so left elbow onto our left hand, the back of the left, or to the back of the skull there. And then exhale, just bringing the elbow down towards the ground. So feeling that bit of a stretch again, like we did in where we were on all fours, on the back of that left hip there and a little bit through the left waist. Inhale, press into that. Now you can certainly press the right elbow into the knee, but don't collapse into it. That's just going to help you open and expand through the chest there, really reaching that elbow up and away. We're going to do 3 rounds of this. Exhale to hinge forward, reach that elbow down towards the ground. Inhale opens the chest up. Press a little bit into that right elbow, reach through the left elbow. Inhale to exhale to bring you down, and inhale to open back up again. So take one more breath here, a full breath, and exhale, and one more inhale. Exhale, hands either side of the front foot and stepping it back to all fours. Let's take 1 or 2 full rounds of cat-cow here, just to bring any little bits of tension out of our hips that we might have built. And then we're going to move through our second round of that final flow there. So tuck the toes under, inhale, soften the belly down towards the ground, and exhale, press your hips back towards your heels here. Inhale, back up to all fours, and exhale, untuck the toes. Inhale, reach its right arm away and left leg away. Keep pressing through that left heel. Keep that leg active. Exhale brings you into cactus arms, cactus legs, awareness of the waist, awareness of the hip position. Inhale, back to all fours again. Exhale, now I'm just flipping to the back of my mat so you can see me. You stay where you are. Pivot that left leg off the mat. Place the right hand in line with our left hand in line with the right, left knee, lefts and rights today. Reach that right leg away from you. Reach the right fingertips to the back of your skull there. Exhale, curls that elbow down towards the floor. Inhale, opens you up, reaches that elbow up and back. Feel that lovely stretch through the waist, the shoulder and the armpit. Inhale, back to all fours again. Or exhale back to all fours again. And then inhale, we're going to step that left foot forward just inside the left hand there. On your next inhale, you're going to step that right leg forward to come down into your forward fold. Inhale, press into your feet and reach your arms up high. Exhale, hands down the midline in prayer position. Press the palms together. Inhale, reach the arms up high. Exhale, step the left leg back now. So we're coming into our flow on the left side now. Reach the arms back into our arrowhead. So I'm going to swap to the back of my mat so you can see me. Now we're going to come into our transition where we end up in reverse. So on your next inhale, bring let the right heel down towards the ground. So the foot is at a kind of 45-degree angle. And we're going to sweep the left arm up and over to sneak our way into reverse warrior. So remembering your options for this one is to have the elbow bent or to keep the arm stretching. We're going to do 3 rounds of this, the same as we did on the other side. So inhale, left elbow to left knee, right arm reaches up and over. Sorry, that's your exhale. And then inhale, reaches the left arm up and over. Exhale, right hand to right knee, right arm, left hand to left knee, right arm reaches over. Inhale, sweeps the left arm over. One more time. Exhale, right arm reaches. Inhale, left arm reaches. Okay, and then we're going to come back now into this position, remembering if this is too much for you on the hip or just the crease here, you can wedge this space here to bring you up a little bit higher. And it can also maybe help a little bit with the chest opening if you're up a little bit higher. So whichever position suits you, we're going to place the fingers of our right hand at the back of our skull there. And we're going to start with the exhale. So curling forward, remembering now to press a little bit of weight into that back foot there. Cinch the whole waist in here to help lift the upper body as it reaches forward over that left leg. Inhale to open you up to the side of your mat. Same action as we've been doing before. So reach that elbow up and back. And exhale to bring it down again. We'll do 3 rounds of this. Inhale to open you up. And exhale to come back down again. Last time. Inhale, open, cinch that waist in, lift the pelvic floor. And exhale to come back down again. Hands either side of the front foot. Step that left leg back and find your way into all fours. Okay, let's just do a few little rounds of cat-cow and maybe bring a little bit of fluid movement into our hips there as we start to bring ourselves down towards the restorative part of our practice. So a little bit of movement through the hips. So let's start with some cat-cows. So inhaling, the belly softens towards the ground, the gaze comes forward, and just notice here how this feels compared to the first rounds of cat-cow that you did half an hour ago. And exhale, press into your hands, lift your spine up towards the ceiling. Inhale, notice the fluid movement, the action of the breath with movement here, intrinsically linked now a lot more smoothly. Press into your hands, feel the shoulder blades spinning. So feel that lovely bits of freedom that you've created in your shoulders as well as you come through your cat-cows with your breath. And let's take 1 or 2 just with the heels tucked under. Last time, this version with the chest staying open. And really lengthening your breath out here now, starting to soothe yourself with your breath. And coming then just to tabletop position and circling your hips any way that feels good for you. You might want to walk the fingers over off the left side of your mat, reach your right shoulder forward just to take it into a little side stretch. Walk your hands off the right side of your mat, reach your right or your left shoulder forward and your left hip back. So just bringing a little bits of movement into your spine before we come into our more restorative and more static part of the practice. Okay, so when you're ready, just bring your legs forward. And we're going to take constructive rest just for a few breaths to find a nice neutral, symmetrical position before we come into our restorative practice, because that was quite a strong, constantly moving flow there that you've done. So constructive rest, coming down onto your back with your feet mat distance apart, The knees tucked in together or pressed in together. Palms facing up or down, depending what kind of feels most secure or most kind of, if you're feeling like you want opening, you want a little bit of fresh air, palms facing up. If you're feeling you want to start to soothe your nervous system, you want to find your grounding, palms facing down. And using your breath here, it's always the way that we link into our restorative part of our practice by observing our breath. So check in with your heartbeat, check in with the rate of your breath. And see, can you gently start to just gently encourage it or to soothe it to a more rhythmical, gentle breath. Maybe slightly more extended. See, to start with, can you find a breath of in for 4 and out for 4? So let's take a few rounds of them and I'll do the count for you. So in for 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands in the belly can be nice for this one as well, just so you feel the swell of the belly. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. And then exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to take 2 rounds where we take an exhale of 6. So the exhale is where the parasympathetic nervous system sits. It works deeply with the vagus nerve, particularly with the exhale. So let's inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1, and then exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then just letting the breath do whatever it wants to do there. And we'll get ready for our first pose. So gently let the legs roll over to the right-hand side, roll over the whole body to the right-hand side, press the left palm into the ground to help lift you up to a seated position. So we're just going to do a nice chest opening with the arms in cactus position for our first pose. Again, linking our restorative in with what we've been doing in our practice. So what we're looking for is if you take your blanket into a 4-fold. So a 4-fold literally just means a blanket which is folded in 2, and then it's folded 1 more time to create 4 layers. So that's your 4-fold. And then we're going to fold it lengthways again so that we end up with a narrow folded blanket. And place that down on the ground. Make sure that it's nice and smooth. Mine hasn't folded properly, so you make sure there isn't any little creases in it. So you have your long shaped blanket now. And what you're going to do is roll up the non-frilly end, if you have a frilly ended blanket, about 2 rolls. So you don't want it terribly high. This is going to go under our shoulder blades. Our shoulder blades are quite sensitive to height. So it's kind of about that height there, if you can have a look at that. We're going to pop that with the end of your blanket across the top, at the very top of your mat where your head is going to be. And we're just going to sandwich the roll down there so it doesn't unroll while we're trying to get into position. So bring your hips kind of into the center of the mat. And where you want the roll to hit is just the lower edge of your shoulder blades. And just to remind you, which I usually go through when we're going through these, so the way I kind of get a sense of whether I have them in the right position is, well, for women, it's the bra line, but just a general position, it's kind of 2 finger widths between your armpit and the start of the roll or the prop there will give you a pretty good idea of whether it's sitting in the correct position. So adjusting the height of it if you need to. So you won't really get a judge of whether the height is too much for you or not until you lengthen those legs away, and that's where we feel the full effect of the chest opening. So the narrow roll there is what that does is that it gives the shoulders space to drop down towards the mat there. Arms in cactus position is a lovely chest opening. If that's a little bit too much for you, because it's can you think about it, the shoulder is higher here, so it's quite an anterior stretch for the shoulders there, or a posterior stretch for the shoulders there. So if cactus position is a little bit too much in your shoulders, bring your arms into a T shape, which will still give you a lovely chest opening there, but just take a little bit of the intensity out of the shoulder joint there. So either arms in cactus position or in a T shape, whichever suits the shoulders. So see, can you just have a sense of tucking the pelvis a little bit so that the hip bones reach down towards the ground just a little bit, so that we're not hyperextending in our lower back there. And if that cue is not sitting with you, just have a sense of tilting your pelvis forward and back until you find a position where you can feel the natural curve of your spine rather than an accentuated curve of your spine. So really feeling the extended breath now in the upper chest here, as we feel this lovely stretch across the skin of our chest. And feel the kind of vibrations of all those lovely chest openings you did for the movement part of your practice now. And this is where we really notice the work that we've done for our restorative part of our practice, the lovely chest opening. And it's being prepared for its opening. So scan through the body now, just making sure that the parts that are not being, attended to, like the chest area that we're kind of observing, are still being looked after. So check in with your legs there, make sure that they are not kind of hovering in space, that you've really let go of any tension in the muscles of your legs. And you might find for the first few minutes of your practice, they're still kind of active, that the legs are still almost still in their high lunge, or they're still doing their bits. So just kind of gently encouraging them to submit to the idea of letting go of the tension in the muscles. And then always good to check in with the muscles of the face. It almost starts a chain reaction of relaxation through the whole body when you just take a moment to scan through the muscles of the face. So notice your forehead, skin across the forehead, smooth as silk. Check in with the little temples either side of your forehead there. And can you soften them? Your cheekbones softening. The eyes drop into their sockets. Any little bits of muscle tension around the eye sockets softening. And most importantly, when it comes to the face, the jaw softening. So can you really let that lower jaw just hang in space without any sort of muscle activity to keep it there? Maybe even lightly pressing the tongue across the soft palate at the top of your mouth there. Now, if you have your arms in cactus position, now might be a nice time to just reach them into a T shape. Just gently reversing out of the pose. Settling into those little moments of silence as you assimilate your practice and start to really settle into the idea of restoring. And when you're ready now, just bending the knees up, placing the feet on the ground, and just gently rolling over to your right-hand side, coming off your roll. Press the left hand into the ground to lift yourself up to a seated position, and we'll get ready for our next pose. So for your next pose, you will need all of your 4 blankets. You are going to place a blanket at the top of your mat. So let's see if we're going to come onto this. We're going to bring it to the left side of your mat there. Just up at the top left side of your mat, just kind of where your head will be, it's going to support your shoulder. And then unroll the blanket that you had underneath your shoulder blades there into a 4-fold and just roll it up again. So we're taking another rolled blanket. We wanted a slightly longer one, and you're going to roll it all the way up this time. So rolling up your 4-fold, and we're going to place that kind of down towards the center of our mat. Where we want that to hit is the curve of our waist here, and then around to our lumbar spine when we come into our twist. We're coming into a supine twist on our back. Our last 2 blankets are going to go in between our legs here. So let's get ourselves ready. So you got your blanket at the top left side of your mat. You have your roll, which is going to support your lumbar spine and your waist as you come into the pose. And then we're going to pop those 2 final blankets or a bolster, just depending how many blankets you have there, anything to wedge between your legs. And what that's going to do, it's just going to take a little bit of the pressure off that top hip there as we come into our twist. So we're opening up into a twist and optionally going to bring the arms into cactus position again. So lots of cactus arms today. So coming onto your side, so here we want to make sure that we have the position of this rolled blanket correct here before we come into the twist. So where we want it to be is at the kind of the smallest part of our waist there, so that when we roll back, it's going to be sitting into our lumbar spine. It's going to support the upper curve of our lumbar spine there as we are opening up into our twist. So come down onto your left-hand side there, reach your left arm away from you there. Place your right hand on top of your left hand, and then inhale, sweep the arm up overhead, bending the elbow and bringing it into a cactus position. So you might have to make sure that the blanket that we have positioned at the top right corner of our mat, it's on the right now because I've twisted, I'm a bit confused there, is sitting underneath that shoulder. So you can also, if you need to, you can fold that blanket up into a smaller wedge if that shoulder needs a little bit more of a lift. Now, we don't necessarily want the head to be on that blanket because otherwise then it's not really supporting the shoulder properly. We just want the shoulder to be sitting on that blanket. And what that does, it takes the intensity out of the stretch of the shoulder, but it also takes a little bit of the intensity out of the twist in the spine as well. So adjusting the height of that blanket will adjust how much you are twisting to the right-hand side. Arms in cactus position, and again, if cactus isn't suiting your shoulders, arms in T position is good too. Okay, so settling into our twist to the right here. So lots of sensations for this pose. And this will be the main kind of sensation pose that we'll be doing. So feeling for that lovely twist through the whole spine there. And noticing how twisting the body affects the breath. It's incredibly nourishing for the breath because it's stimulating all the tissues of the respiratory system. But in this twisted shape, we certainly notice the movements of the breath more more magnified. So twisting this direction, often it's easier to notice the breath on the upper right side of the body, certainly in the right lung and even maybe the right belly there. So even though the breath is most certainly going through the whole left and right respiratory system, it's almost like the breath is drifting down the right side of the body and through the right lung down towards the right belly. And on the exhale, that area just softly drops down towards the ground. With the inhale, it lifts away from the ground. Now check in with your legs now. Make sure that your upper leg really is pressing gently and taking the support of the bolster or the blankets that you have between your knees there. But it's letting gravity press it down, and it's not using any little bits of muscle tension to kind of hold itself off the prop. Notice that lovely stretch now that we feel not only in our upper right waist, but also across the top of the right hip there. Okay, we're going to gently get ready to come to the second side now. So we're going to come over to the right-hand side. And the best way to come out is to come back over to lying on your left side, bringing the right arm with you. Press your right arm into the ground to bring yourself into a seated position. So probably the most energy efficient way to come to the opposite side is to bring the arms behind you and press into your arms. And then just swing the legs over so that you come onto your right hip and the right upper thigh there. Make sure that you swap your blanket over to the back of your mat to, it depends whether you're facing it or not, the top right side of your mat now, if you're looking towards it. And you have your roll just underneath your right waist now. Coming over to your right side body, reach the right arm away, left fingertips on top of it. On your inhale, you're going to lift that left arm up and over, bring it into cactus position. Make sure that that left shoulder hits that left blanket just as support if you need it. And then bring both arms into cactus position. If cactus position isn't working for your shoulders today, then just bring the arms into a T position, reaching the arms away from you. So let's observe the sensations now in the upper left side of the body as we take this into the twist to the left. So feel that lovely stretch through the skin of the left upper waist there. Stretching all the way around to the left armpit. Feeling the little bit of the space between the ribs on the left side now. And can you feel the intensity of the breath as it travels down through the left side of the body? Left lung, left upper belly. And again, it's just a more magnified observation of breath. The breath is always equal. And feeling as well just that additional little stretch through the top right hip there, or left hip there. Everything's left. Can you let that left leg really be heavy now as it sits on your prop and your right leg? And you let the shoulders really soften. It's kind of like they drape at the final part of the twist through the spine. It's almost like they are the thing that is grounding the spine into the upper part of the twist, whilst the lower part is being grounded down by the hips and the legs. And always coming back to your breath, coming back to just the gentling through the muscles of the face, settling yourself back into your practice anytime you find yourself drifting. And getting ready to come out of this pose now, to come into our Shavasana, to assimilate our practice. So when you're ready, just rolling back over to your right hand side, bringing that left arm up and over. Press your left hand into the ground to lift your chest and head up, and coming into a seated position. So what I thought would be nice for your version of Shavasana is this one that I'm pretty sure we've done before. It's just making a slight lift for the legs with your blankets. So I'll pop the blankets over here so you can see what I'm doing. So taking all of your blankets into a fourfold, which is this kind of a shape, and then folding it over again and popping that towards the end of your mat there. So we're going to take it into a fourfold and then just folding it over again lengthways. I'm going to do that with all four of my blankets. Fourfold and folding it again. Now, of course, you can just pop you can use your bolster if you don't want to build this with. But this is quite nice because it's very subtle, but it's literally just lifting the whole lower leg off the ground, rather than with the bolster you're kind of just kind of lifting the knee off the ground. So let's just come onto our backs now, and just literally having the legs sitting gently on top of your folded blankets there as you come down towards the ground. And again, it's always nice to just maybe bring a little bit of movement into the pelvis there to make sure that you find your natural curve. Sometimes when we come down to the ground, the pelvis gets a little stuck in a forward tilt and our lumbar is taking too much of an exaggerated curve. So just tilting your pelvis forward and back a little bit to find a position that feels natural to your spine. I'm just letting mainly the calves drape across your folded blankets there as you bring your legs into a gentle elevation. Palms can be facing up or down, a little bit of space between the arms and the body. So just taking these few minutes to assimilate your practice in this lovely symmetrical position with a neutral spine. Getting ready now to come back into your day, bringing a little bit of movements into your fingertips and your toes. Rolling over to your right side, just maybe taking the legs off the blanket lift there. And then pressing your left arm into the ground to help lift you up. And make your way into a comfortable seated position, hands in prayer position at your heart. Thumbs to your third eye, to your lips, to your heart center, and namaste. And thank you for practicing with me. I'll see you again next week for the last week in this session of Move and Restore. So the next session is going to start on the 16th of July. And for my newsletter followers and for people who have done this course, I'm going to give you a special summer discount. So I will put the details for that in the description under this class here. And see you next week. Thank you.